Welcome, gamers, to this week's returning episode of Last Call Gaming. And guys, it's been a minute, but we are back, and we promise to keep delivering excellent content. Like on today's episode, we're going to talk about Nintendo Switch Lite, the new Nintendo Switch that's entering the fray, and if it's worth your money to buy it. Also, guys, Call of Duty has a game mode that they've been showing off, and we're going to analyze it, and we're going to look at it to see if it is as good as it looks. But of course, guys, there is all that and more. So if you want to hang out, grab yourself a beer for old time's sakes and let's talk games. Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. This is the long-awaited return, episode 12. My name is Craig Prowse, and joining me, as always, the face I've missed the most is Andrew Montemayor.
It is a return, and it ain't of the Jedi.
It's of the King this time, maybe? Guys, we want to start out by just issuing an apology. We missed the last few weeks. We've had a lot of technical issues. Our lights blew out. We've had recording issues.
Shitty camera problems.
Yeah, one after another. So I kind of looked at it as this: better now than later, right? Better in our infancy on episode 11 to 12 than 31 to 32. So I kind of took it. I gave Andrew a week or two off. I wanted to get everything back together. So we are now officially up and running. Everything should be running fine.
Hopefully.
But the real kicker is we had a contest going. Is kind of to keep you guys watching, to keep you guys enticed, and you've missed out on entries. So we're going to kind of make up for that. And Andrew, how are we going to do it?
Well, our last contest, if you entered or were even interested at all, was for a copy of Wolfenstein Youngblood, which now it's way too close to coming out with all the problems and everything like that. So we are just going to scrap that. If you entered that one and you win this next one and that's personally what you would like over our next prize, let us know. We'll be more than happy to buy that over the next thing.
Definitely.
But those votes on the last one will still count. So our new contest is going to be for what's our first story about, which is we're going to be giving away a Switch Lite, your color of choice.
And those colors are ranging from the turquoise, the canary yellow, and the gray. So
I kind of like that canary yellow. I thought it was very popular.
The more I looked at it, the more I was digging it. But yeah, so that's how we're going to make it up to you guys. If you're watching this episode and you're watching the next episodes up until September 14th, because the release date for this is September 20th. So up until then, guys, like, comment, enter in Switch Lite, and you are going to get a chance for me and Andrew to buy you a Nintendo Switch
and of course,
Lite.
Make sure you're subscribed.
Make sure you subscribe. So let's get into the Nintendo Switch Lite and if it's worth us buying it for you. So, Andrew, we just saw this thing come out. We mentioned the colors. We mentioned the release date. But, this thing's got different hardware.
I wasn't really expecting it to come out.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere.
I thought they would come out with maybe a more because everyone else has an Xbox, the Xbox One X, the PS4 Pro, I thought that's what they would come out with before a slimline model would be a more maybe beefier one or something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because the way I've been looking at this is their official new Game Boy, right? Because the big thing on this, if you have a Switch or you don't, is you can take the original Switch and you can put it into a dock that's going to hook up to your TV and you can play it on your TV. You can also take the Joy-Cons, which are essentially the directional buttons and the A and B and the
they slide off and
they come off. This thing is all connected. It's all one piece. How do you feel about that?
I personally don't mind it. If anything, it's maybe a bigger, better, slightly smaller version of a tablet. I personally don't really, even when I played anything that's anything off the Switch, I hate using the Joy-Cons when they're separated. I have to lock them together onto the little thingamadoo.
Yep.
Or get the controller that just syncs to it. So that personally works out for me if I can't take it off anyway, so I could care less about that.
Doesn't it just feel like a big GBA now? That's how I've been thinking about it. I'm like, oh wait, we'll get into more of the specs on it, but this to me is just now their official Game Boy.
In a way, but that's the thing. Is it going to be able to play? Yeah, it's not going to be able to play those Game Boy games. It comes in at a little bit cheaper of a price for those wanting to jump into the Switch. Why not? Personally, for me, if I don't want to depending on what the price drop is going to be if the Switch were to drop in price, because I think the Switch right now still is like $300, but there's sales where you can find them for like $249 and stuff like that. So personally, I'd rather just spend the $200, especially if I'm the kind of person that, I love just lounging around the house, and I wouldn't mind having a lot bigger screen. That's why I don't play the Game Boy in the first place, and that's why I'm not a big fan of it. It's because I don't like how small the screen is. If I could have a bigger screen and just be like that with, the new Legend of Zelda,
right
Breath of the Wild and all that stuff, then sure, why not?
Because what I've been looking at it is, it's got a smaller screen. The cool thing is now
not too much smaller. So it's like slightly.
It's a 5.5 to I think it's a
6.2.
Yeah. But it's got a longer battery life. So this thing, to me, is definitely geared towards the people that like the handheld games, like Pokemon's coming out. Right?
It says it's pretty light too.
It's supposed to be lighter. It's supposed to be slimmer.
It's definitely handheld,
and it's supposed
for
to be more durable feeling, right? Because you don't have those loose Joy-Cons, right? It's a sturdy grip.
Right.
It looks. Because I already have one, so it's a cool secondary option for certain people that don't have one. It's an interesting first option because, like Andrew's saying, it's a $300 price point for the original, and that might drop by holiday. But so this entry point's at $200. So the question is it worth $100 difference to just not go buy the original that gets you the other features such as docking deal or TV?
I think
Joy-Con?
that's the biggest thing. That's what it's going to be for you. Is if you want to hook it up to your TV, then no, it's not worth it for you. But if that's something you don't really picture yourself doing too much, is playing whatever on your TV. There's tons of people who just play by themselves. This isn't like a kind of
commute and stuff like that.
This isn't for someone who wants to host a party and have like Mario Party and everybody jump in and play or anything like that. It's for someone who just wants to hang out by themselves, whatever the case may be, and
just
have something.
Play it at work.
Yeah, just have something on the go, not have to worry about like all the shit coming off or anything like that.
One of the cool things I did see that this one's offering, and I don't know why any new versions of the original Switch wouldn't have, is they're switching the directional buttons to an actual solid D-pad, and I think that's a brilliant move, and I don't know why they didn't start with that. Isn't that kind of odd?
Yeah, I always prefer the D-pad anyway.
Yeah, because Nintendo has the perfect D-pad. I mean, there's nothing better than it. Other pros and cons with this thing is, let's see, it's lighter, slimmer. Oh, you can also transfer your game saves between that, and I think they're coming out with, they're going to elaborate more on that, because I know there's not a cloud feature yet, but there's talks of there being one to do that kind of in the future.
They're also talking. They haven't mentioned it yet, but they're talking about as far as like your digital library being able to go between the two.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I mean, if anything, it could just be that console you take on the go, because some people, just want to leave your shit docked and you don't want to undock it and then carry it around with all the charger and stuff. You could just leave your original one docked and then just take your other one, on the go. That could be your on-the-go console for not a bad buy-in price.
Yeah, and the cool thing is it's a Type-C charger, so your phone charger can
just
power
plug
this
right
thing
into
on.
it. Yeah.
And it's worth noting that this is the cheapest entry point of a console in this current generation. $200 is the lowest you're looking at, and I mean. It's an interesting price to jump into, and Nintendo's notorious for kind of rebranding, reshaping their previous items at a perfect time when holidays right around the corner. New games are dropping like Pokemon and Zelda Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
it's a resurgence for them.
Yeah, catch this game on like a good sale, a good Christmas sale. $150 for like a console, or $100 for a console, depending on that price cut.
Yeah,
even though they don't. Nintendo's not really notorious for having like these big sales where everything's a lot cheaper, like Xbox or like PlayStation, whatever.
Waiting for like Octopath
but still, you catch a store who is willing to eat the cost and just get these units out, and that's $100 to be able to play all these Switch games.
Because $100 is that and a game. You know what I mean? That and an accessory. So I think it's interesting. It's cool. The other thing worth saying is that there's supposed to be a limited edition Pokemon Sword and Shield version of it. So if you're interested in getting that, skin on it, that should be coming out. I would keep your eyes open. Again, that comes out September 20th. So Andrew, because we've been talking about you eventually getting a Switch, what's more appealing to you? The original at its full price with all its capabilities, or this new one at $200 and maybe getting a game with it?
If I wasn't the kind of person that I am, I'm really enticed by this one. But I have people come over all the time that I would want to play like Mario Kart with, or Mario Party or something like that with. So I think I would rather get a regular Switch. But I mean, maybe not. I might just bite the bullet and just jump in on this.
Because Deandra's been wanting one, and it's we kind of got to move this one back and forth. But I mean, it's the perfect second Switch to grab. I mean, this thing makes sense. You got the colors. The only thing that I didn't like is and it's because of the Joy-Cons not being unattachable, is you need to buy a separate pair of that for any motion eccentric game. So any game that requires that, you cannot play it with this handheld because it doesn't have the feature. You have to buy the separate sticks for it.
Oh, that sucks. But I mean, I hate games that you got to do like motion shit with it anyway. So
yeah, but that's kind of what Nintendo's kind of been getting into, these kind of soft, move around kind of games. So overall, guys, I mean, that's what you have the chance of winning. I think it's great. I think it looks good. It's a good value. For me, and I think for Andrew, the kind of gamers we are, I'm more of an in-home gamer. I don't really take too many things on the go. But if you are that kind of gamer, what's not to like?
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool, and I think, the perfect thing to start a giveaway with. Why not?
Yeah,
sure.
So you got a chance to win it, guys. So remember, like, comment, subscribe, and you could win a Nintendo Switch Lite color of choice.
If you don't want it, just let me know that you're ungrateful, and we'll find someone who's a little bit more willing.
Ooh, he's so sassy on this return to form. The next thing, guys, we want to get into is the Call of Duty, is just Modern Warfare, I believe is the correct title of this game, is released. It's one of its multiplayer modes. It's the 2v2, was it the Gunfighter? And walk me through a little bit what this is about.
So essentially what it is it's almost like a Rainbow Six Siege. It's just without the sort of objective. It's just you're trying to kill each other. It's obviously 2-on-2 is the main focus of it. So maybe a little bit more almost like Halo 5's, I think it was called Outbreak, except for instead of having a big team, again, it's just the 2-on-2. The objective is just to, kill each other. There's no regenerating health. You have a you have a certain health bar that will get to a certain point and then it stays there. The round is only 40 seconds long. It's built on like a smaller map, but it's the map that I saw kind of reminded me almost like Halo's Outbreak, but that was built more for, this bigger team before and the match to go a little bit longer. But if you don't kill each other after 40 seconds, then there's a flag you're supposed to get. And it's pretty much the first one to 6, or if, there's certain OT stipulations. I think the biggest thing for it, because it's always been a Call of Duty staple too, is that you don't get to create a class with this, which I personally like. Everyone really starts with the same ground, so it's just going to come down to raw skill. There's no, this class is OP, that's OP, nothing like that. You start off with the same equipment, and then you're just head-to-heading each other. And I personally like that. That sounds like a very cool game mode. I personally wish there was, I think they have 3v3s, but a 3v3 game mode that was like this, that's just like a quick, like, boom, 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 fast. Because I'm usually playing with somebody else. Always, I've usually got a group of people on, but I personally thought this game mode looked really good. We don't have any gameplay of it to show you, unfortunately, because they just did a Twitch reveal, which was only, like, big YouTubers and stuff like that. So, I mean, you could YouTube it, easily followed up, but the few maps that they showed, I think they showed off like 3.
It's 3. It's they had King, which is a warehouse type level. They have Pine, which was a dense forest with man-made structures that you can get behind, and then a level called Stack, which is kind of a container yard that was in a desert setting.
Yeah, I think I liked King the best from the ones that they showed. And,
it looked the most interesting. That's the one I've seen the most gameplay of, was that one.
And again, and from what they've said, or unless there's a misunderstanding, these maps aren't going to be just siphoned off versions of the big maps either. They're their own maps designated for just this type of gameplay. So it's not going to be just a smaller version of, like some huge map that you do something with. So I thought that was pretty cool too, because now, instead of them having to take in some sort of formula, like, all right, let's build this big ass map, but we have to take into account, all right, how are we going to make it smaller later on? It's designated just for this type of that mode, this tight, quick, just
drop
get
in
there,
drop out mode,
gameplay.
I did think it was really cool that the concept of it is this 40-second, right? So you can jump in, get in there, but like you were saying, the thing that caught my eye the most is the pre-made classes that start the map so everyone's on the same playing field. And then it kind of jumps around. So, like, the next round, it gives you the heads up of what you're going to be using. So,
I think it's every 2 rounds.
Or is it like that? Yeah. So, it'll switch it, and then your loadout doesn't stay the same round. It'll move. And I thought that was a really cool concept.
You have the same as what your opponent does the whole time. But I believe it's every 2 rounds, you'll switch weapons. So, instead of having a shotgun, you might have, like a FAMAS or something like that. Yeah. But either way, you always have what your opponent has.
Yeah, which I think really levels the playing field. That's kind of what I was watching a lot of the streamers that were doing it. And that's one thing they said they actually really enjoyed. It was like, there's no level difference, and at that point it comes to skill. Who's better with the shotgun than the next guy?
You're not picking this gun with the rapid fire, with the Juggernaut as the backup, and the deep penetration, just trying to shoot through everything on the map.
Yeah, really cool concept.
It's very head to head.
So, I mean, this is one thing that they just launched, but the full-scale, all their multiplayer modes are coming out August 1st, right?
Yeah, that's when they're going to do their full reveal where they go through, they show everything. They show all the game modes, they show, a couple of maps, maybe some story stuff or whatever, but they show a lot of the new gameplay aspects of, what they're
lots to
adding
look
to
forward
the
to. I mean,
multiplayer.
August 1st is right around the corner. We're 2 weeks away from it. So, it's kind of cool that they just launched this, because I guess it's been out, I think, since May. Some of these guys have had access to play it, but now that it's out, it's publicly released, now these guys can talk about it.
I wish they would have done like a more in-depth maybe walkthrough with something straight through Activision instead of having to watch these streamers. But I mean,
yeah, I was
and then
everything.
let the streamers play or whatever, because a lot of them. No offense to anyone or anything like that, but I can't stand like having to have someone like yell or something over it while I'm trying to watch something. And I understand too, you're in the moment, you're hyped. I do the same thing when I'm playing. Yeah. But if I'm watching someone else,
in my own home.
Yeah, if I'm watching someone else, I'm like, oh, I gotta turn that down. So I'm looking for other videos where people are explaining what it feels like to play or whatever. They're just narrating.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in watching any of that gameplay and you have a Twitch guy that you go follow, go watch them, check it out. I watched 3 or 4 different videos. It looks really fun. It's the kind of game that I would be more into, because I don't like jumping into these things where there's 8 people, you gotta wait for the whole roster to fill up, and then you gotta wait for the match to load, and then you gotta worry about who's playing what, because there's a guy sniping every round. This is the quick pickup. Hey man, you want to fuck around for an hour and play some games?
Yeah, even so it's very competitive.
Boom. And you can get a lot. I mean, 40 seconds with probably some little bit of lag time with loading up and all that. You can get a lot of rounds in there. I mean, you can get a lot of gameplay done in these 2v2s if that's what you're trying to do. Rank up because I'm sure there's gonna be challenges for getting kills with blah 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 for the day, and then you just
I like a lot of these. I like a lot of the quick game modes, especially too because I don't play.
Yeah, it looks fun.
I don't like playing team deathmatch. Like I've never been a big team deathmatch guy, and that's always been like a huge Call of Duty thing. I prefer the game modes like Search and Destroy, where everybody has one life, but there is the objective. Or I mean, the one game mode I ever super got into, I guess 2 would be like Capture the Flag or Sabotage.
I was guessing. I'm like, I bet he's gonna say Capture the Flag. Cause that's
I mean, those would be the longer game modes that I played. But other than that, usually, especially after playing like a lot of Rainbow Six, even though Rainbow Six Siege can take a while and that's built to be a lot slower, some of those rounds are just quick. It's one life and you're over. Right, yeah. I prefer that.
And it is cool that they have outside of just the 40 seconds of killing. If that's not enough, there's a flag element.
It forces some sort of confrontation no matter what after a set amount of time. So I think that's pretty cool too. And you know what? Maybe next year, if you hit that subscribe, maybe we'll make the next event.
Oh,
I doubt it though.
That'd be pretty cool though. So we're kind of running through this kind of quick, guys, just because we know we haven't had an episode in a while, so we want to kind of make sure this gets done nicely.
Plus, not too much. I mean, we're kind of in that lull after E3. That Switch was kind of the biggest news, but even still, it's just releasing a small console, slightly different things.
We decided to make a giveaway out of it. Yeah. So with that, guys, we're going to move into the segment of the video game question of the week. I will ask Andrew a question. He'll provide an answer with a little context as of why. It's nothing big. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just something fun we're going to want to do. And I think we started doing it 2 episodes or so ago. So, Andrew, I'm going to ask you, if you had to choose to have a bodyguard, who would you pick? Would it be Nathan Drake of Uncharted, or would it be Lara Croft of Tomb Raider?
I would say Lara.
And why?
Lara. She seems like she would take it more serious, whereas Nathan seems like he's very clumsy and just stumbles into everything.
Yeah, but you don't want a guy that you're going to go to the bar and hang out with and drink, and then he can still kick ass, versus Lara, who's going to be like, no chance with. Lara.
Crying the whole time.
No chance with at all? She's kind of a bitch in that 3rd game. I don't know if anyone's played it, but she's a bitch in that 3rd game.
Yeah, but you see her like bonding with that dude. Like they're good friends. They get drinks and stuff like that. And they even go to they go to a bar in the 3rd game.
Not like Drake though.
I just feel like she would take it more serious than what Drake would. Drake would be like, if they get him, they get him.
Yeah, I think my answer would be Nathan Drake's. But guys, I'm sure the question will pop up somewhere on the screen. You guys tell us who you would pick as your bodyguard and leave in the comments why. So that moves it from video game question of the week, Andrew.
I'll add this into it.
A side note, as it were.
I will only take her as my bodyguard if it's pronounced Laura and not Lara.
Oh, I like it, Lara.
I don't know.
It puts a little bit that aristocratic spin on it.
I hate it.
Oh, what do you guys think?
I hate to love it, love to hate it.
Nice. So that's the video game question of the week, Andrew. Let's move in.
You got some riffs?
So we usually like to move into riffs from here. I haven't had any riffs, guys. I've been trying to get this back online going, so I've kind of just been a little tone deaf to what's been going on besides our main topic. So if there's anything you want to riff on, Andrew, now is the time to say it.
Here.
Rabble.
I got a few. I got a couple things. Just some, I got two smaller things in news. Nothing crazy huge to mention.
Let's hear it.
But then I do have something that I'm very heated about, which will lead into the highs and lows. So, first riff we'll talk about is that Greg Russo, the writer of the new Mortal Kombat reboot movie that's been going around for whatever, has come out and stated that it is going to be a rated R video game movie. Because there's going to be fatalities in there. I said actual fatalities, not, kind of generous or whatever they did in the original Mortal Kombat movies.
Okay.
Even though I still love those movies. Particularly the first one, the second one's hot shit, but I still love it. But I thought that was pretty cool, because I don't think we have an R-rated video game movie yet, do we?
Ooh, an R-rated video game movie. No, I don't think any video game studio has been... I mean, the closest I can think to is maybe Doom, but I don't think Doom is rated R.
No, that was a hard PG-13.
Okay. Because I mean, there's obviously different podcasts I listen to when I'm working. And
was
was
that movie rated R? No.
I don't know. Look it up real quick, because I that might be the only one that it's top of the head. So I do listen to a bunch of movie podcasts, and I did hear this news with Mortal Kombat. And from what are you sure it's officially R? Because I heard that's what they were leaning towards.
As far that's what he said. So
Okay.
that's as official as whatever he's gonna say. But whether they dumb it down or something.
So the other thing I did hear about that is I heard, and I forget the actor's name, and I apologize. I forget what he's from, but don't they have Sub-Zero already cast for this movie?
I haven't seen too much else about the news. I don't really kind of follow it like that. I just seen it in like a lot of my feeds. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And this is something like I'll probably watch the first trailer and then make my decision there whether or not I'm gonna see it day one or whatever, and then I'll go on blackout from there, because Mortal Kombat's near and dear to my heart that I don't want to see anything else.
Yes.
So I don't want to ruin anything for myself. I don't want to see any plot elements, who's the villain or anything like that.
Did you ever watch the Mortal Kombat show that they had, like the YouTube show with like?
I forgot what it was called.
What was his name? Like Michael J. White or something like that. He was
in the original thing, and then they like rebooted that whole thing.
That was pretty badass.
I showed that to you. I'm the one who showed that to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, but this was like, I feel like years ago.
It was years ago. No, that one was really badass, because that's the one you and me watched where like Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight, and then Sub-Zero dies, or Scorpion dies because he gets frozen. No, that was the original thing, and then they rebooted it from that.
Oh, see, as far as I know, that new movie should be.
Oh, you know what? It was rated R.
Doom was?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
A good call on that. Yeah. I could have swore that was a hard PG-13 movie. It seems like one now.
Well, yeah. If you in retrospect, that movie is probably way more tame than anything that we've seen now with PG-13. But yeah, as far as I know, Sub-Zero is cast in the Mortal Kombat movie. I forget the actor's name.
I'm just glad to see more of it coming along, because I personally I loved the very first movie. I think it was really good at the time, and I still think it's great today. Like, I personally absolutely love it. Well,
especially following the new MK game. I mean, it's a good time to put it back into everyone's kind of mind's eye of going, because most people will look back at that movie and go, it's
a product of its time.
We like it, but after the new game had a lot of success, and obviously I believe it's going to be a Warner Brothers
movie. That is still a big name, so I mean, if not now, when? Are you going to do it years from now when Mortal Kombat's not even a game anymore?
Right, hit by the iron's hot, and right now it's as hot as it's ever been. So
yeah, especially how good that last game was.
Nice, I like that. I forgot about that until you brought it up. So what else is on your mind?
The next riff would be that, despite what people believe, and I'm a firm believer that there's no way that it's not going to. Final Fantasy VII, the Square Enix officially said they have no plans for other consoles, which is what they've been saying for a while.
Wait, say that again?
That there's no plans for any other consoles.
So it's a Sony exclusive right now?
No, because when you watch the PlayStation stuff, no matter how many times, they always say it's coming to PlayStation first. It is not labeled as a PlayStation exclusive. And what I think is even a little bit maybe more telling of it is that the reason they came out and they had to make a statement was because Xbox Germany, I believe it was their Twitter, or I don't know if it was their Facebook or their Twitter. I believe the Twitter posted a video of Final Fantasy VII footage with the Xbox logo on that stuff, saying get it on this date, whatever, like that. And so, if it never was coming to Xbox, there's not a chance in hell they would have backup footage ready to go with their emblem emblazoned and all that stuff across it. So unless something happens in the intermediary where they somehow PlayStation buys it out or something like that, especially when Final Fantasy VIII just got announced and that's coming to Xbox One.
Yeah, right.
And that's not on any other console currently at all. So there's got to be some sort of marketing deal to either A, where this game is going to come day and date, they're just not able to announce it till the month before to maybe stagger those Xbox sales or 2 months before or something. Or there's going to be that sort of gap, like a year or something like that,
God.
which I will personally wait.
Oh, God.
I know you won't.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I've got the PS4. I mean, I don't know as much as Xbox. I mean, this isn't an Xbox podcast by any means, but we're both more Xbox, Microsoft gamers. I have my PS4, though. I don't know if I could wait a year to play Final Fantasy VII.
I think if they did do a deal like that, it's kind of stupid anyways, because that game is going to sell more on PlayStation 4 anyways than anyone who's going to
broke every record in 97, and now it's going to break every record in 2020. No one's going
to... Maybe some people will go out and buy a PS4 just to play this earlier than they would on Xbox, but whatever those numbers are, I doubt it's that astronomical that they really had to like pay for it to... Money had it for... however long.
Yeah, but Sony knows. I mean, Sony always does that. They always get, exclusivity for X amount of time, and then everyone else gets it. But I can't imagine why Square Enix would allow that when everybody's been
for the game. Yeah, for the biggest game.
And then a year would just blow my mind if you couldn't get it for a year.
Well, it also is a game that even a year from then, it's still going to sell what it's going to sell.
Yeah,
because I would personally buy it a year from then, so they have my sale no matter what.
I'm not waiting. I'll get it. What I should have done is get that pre-order for that $349 and get that. What'd you get? Like the cloud
on the
statue,
on the bike or whatever.
The music, the bonus summons. Yeah. Fuck, man. You gotta see. This is what I like when he drops these riffs on me, because I didn't even hear about that. So now, hey, you know what? I was cool, and now I'm hot. I'm hot right now. But I know you're hot on something. So what else?
Yeah, my final riff.
God damn, that kind of pisses me off.
And what I'm gonna go into, and this is gonna go into my low, is Battlefield, a franchise that I've loved more than anything in the world. Like, I came into it late, instantly picked it up. I loved it more than Call of Duty. I've been way bigger into Battlefield than Call of Duty for like a while now. But going back, giving Battlefield 5 another chance. I know I said some harsh things about it before, that it wasn't like a good game. Like, it kind of sucks and they really ruined it. Well, I stand by that statement. This game is a hot piece of shit.
Oh, God.
Really, I hate it even more now than I did when it fucking launched. And they've had time to fix it. So going through it, I was playing online with it because I wanted to get the achievements. I wanted to give it another chance because a lot of people out there are saying, it is a good game. It's not. Don't let anyone lie to you. Like, it is a trash Battlefield game. It is fucking terrible in every way. There's nothing redeeming about it.
I'm back to being happy now.
So I'll even start with some of my gripes about it. I'll go into... So... Not only can they not get the fucking multiplayer right, which I'll get into afterwards, we'll start something simple. They cannot get the fucking story mode right to where I played on the hardest difficulty because that's the achievement. I mean, it wasn't that hard, and I'm not mad when I die to AI. I don't think it's like bullshit or anything like that. That's what a hard mode is supposed to be. You're going to fucking die a lot.
Get better at it.
It looks like shit. There's graphics clipping all over the place. There's enemies, like, I'll literally be from here to maybe like where a wall is, close enough in here, like 10 feet with a sniper, 15 feet, easily to where I could kill them. I'm shooting them to where my bullet's not even registering that it hits. But as soon as I take 4 steps forward, they come into action and they start aiming at me and shooting me, and then I can hit them. All right, I'll have to go around a barricade and then I could hit them. Lots of like clipping random shit to where I couldn't even see anything, to where I found myself trying to run through most of the objectives versus actually trying to fight anything.
Right, just get to a checkpoint.
Yeah, I did a lot of this game just trying to run through it versus anything. There was one level that was so fucking bad that you're supposed to stealth through a forest or you can kill whatever, and there's like parasoldiers that are stuck in the trees. But for some reason, it looks like the parachute's fine, the ropes come down fine, but it doesn't look like someone's hanging in there. They look like they're standing on something. And not only are they standing on something...
Are they still fire?
They're not dead. They're not knocked out. Like, they're just, like, lifeless, staring, but they're blinking. So they're actually moving. Their arms and stuff move a little bit to where I'm sneaking through this thing. The AI is so fucked up, too, that even if I'm hiding behind something, somehow someone still sees me, which is beyond fucking stupid. I was so convinced I was getting spotted so much that it had to be one of the fucking people in the trees. So at one point, I found myself trying to shoot them, only to realize nothing's happening to them.
Kill them?
And they're still just standing there blinking. So I'm like, well, it can't be that. That on my final fucking stroke of just fuck this, I just threw a bunch of smoke grenades and just ran through this final fucking section. And that's just the story mode.
Sense.
making it into the multiplayer mode, there's achievements that are fairly easy. One of them is to play a round of conquest, which is the longest game mode. It takes approximately 40 minutes, is generally being very generous. That's like the shortest it can be. Even like 30 minutes is fast for this game mode. And you have to play a round of conquest on each of the launch maps. There's 9 launch maps.
Ooh.
The problem, and I went through and I did all 9 of the launch maps. I even went through the server browsing. It makes it even easier. You can pick, I had a list in front of me. I've done this map, this one, whatever, so on and so forth. I did it with my little brother, Jake. Me and him stayed up all night and we were just playing together. We actually kind of had fun doing this until we realized at the end, it fucking didn't track any of it. And there's a big problem with the game. So not only that, but there's also achievements for where you're supposed to keep people suppressed. So you got to sit there and keep shooting at them. And it kind of blurs their sight so that way they can't see anything, like it's supposed to be like the suppression under fire or whatever. So that, some of the other score points don't fucking track across servers is what it is. So the only way to get this achievement right now as it stands is I would have to say in a conquest server, hopefully play all 9 maps. I'm looking online because it's not tracking it, and I thought maybe I'm doing something wrong. But no, they said an update broke this feature. And there's people in there who would say they had to stay in a server all day for 8 hours. Because if you leave the server, because me and my brother, we did 2 back-to-backs. We're like, oh, okay, the maps, and I've seen it firsthand. I'm like, oh, this is a map that's on our list. We did it, we backed out. But our percentage went from 12% to 20-something% as it should on the 9 scale. Right. But after we quit out of the match after we won, we played the whole thing through. It went back down to fucking 12. And that's what everyone's saying is you have to stay in there the whole fucking time until it unlocks. Dude. And this game...
So these are hours.
Yeah, and so this is my low, is doing all that just to realize this dog shit, this game that's been out for almost a year. I would say almost a year. I think it came out like November... last year, October. Either way, it's been out for a fucking while. Plays like shit, looks like shit, and there's so much wrong with it. And this is just a smaller scale on some of the stuff that I've been seeing. This isn't even like gameplay features that don't fucking work as far as, like sight modes and like how the fucking flares and shit like that work. This is even some of the deeper mechanical of how the game is supposed to play. Like there's lots of broken things as far as some of the guns go and things like that. This is just basic shit as far as achievement tracking and how the level fucking works or plays.
What is your achievement at it right now? I mean,
thank God I was with the way the rest of that shit worked. I was actually afraid that beating the story it wasn't gonna unlock for me. But there's not that many achievements in the game. This game is like an easy 1 to 100%. Well, there's one achievement on there that's a little hard, but you could get it easily if someone's on the other team, and you could easily milk it and just kill your teammate over and over or something like that. But it's like 12 achievements long, I think, or like 15. Like, okay. It's not that many. So playing the story and playing it on a hard mode was like a good portion of it. And then some of the other stuff online is play all the conquest maps, play this other game. There's a game mode now, too, that they fucking took out that you can't even get the achievement for unless you play another game mode called Operations, and it's only on one map. You have to make it to the 3rd segment of it, so that's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, then get to the 3rd segment of it, if the match even gets there, before you can even capture these fucking flags. And
I feel like you've been holding this back for a while.
Dude, I've been thinking about this all fucking week, dude. This got me good.
This is a very direct assault.
The other achievements are just play with whatever class. There's 4 different classes. Play with any of the classes and get their class score, their rank above a certain point, which it doesn't even fucking keep track of that.
And this is the latest Battlefield that came out. You said with what 2018?
Yeah, Battlefield 1 was better than this. Battlefield 4, a game that's old, I get that game launched with its problems, but that game also launched with a brand new fucking console. This game is fucking absolute dog shit, and I returned it the first time after I got it, and I got a copy for free from one of our good friends, Christian, supplied me with like the...
I was literally just about to say...
The collector's edition.
Cien, do you feel the same way?
Well, he supplied me with the collector's edition, and thank God I didn't pay for it, and I'm almost ashamed that I even had it on my console. I uninstalled it. If this game was on my resume as like a video game maker, I would be fucking embarrassed that I even put this piece of shit out.
We need a segment just called Heated Mandrew.
So let me hear your low, and then we'll end with highs, because...
I don't... My low? I honestly, guys, didn't really have a low. I don't want to sound corny.
Good.
Or cheesy.
I'm glad you did not.
Well,
I think I've had enough low for the both of us.
Yeah, that was a
because that wasn't just a low.
A hot shot.
That was a low, like over a week of trying all these different things just to find out none of the shit I'm doing is working.
I guess he'll be right. Here's my low. So
not only am I playing a game that I don't like to do things that I want to do just because I want to give it the chance, now it makes me hate it even worse because it didn't work in the first place.
So, dude, this kid is hot. He's hotter than hot. He's hot.
There's one little hot potato right
now.
Dude,
you are a hot potato. So I haven't had a chance to play too many games. I've been doing, like I said, a lot of this to try to get this going again. And so my low, I guess, would be that I've been playing my Switch, and I've been playing Fire Emblem Warriors, I think the game's called. And it's not a low in terms of like I had any issues with it. I just don't like it. Like I like it if it was shorter. Like I'm on mission 6, and I like to look up to see what the duration of the game's going to be, so I can kind of project when I'm going to start playing something else. I hate when
you feel that a game's not good, but you're really giving it its fair chance, and you're just hating it more and more as time goes on. It's
kind of like, did you ever play like Kessen or Dynasty Warriors?
I played Dynasty Warriors.
It's like Dynasty Warriors, where you're playing your one of 6 generals, and then you run on these big battlefields, start swiping and smashing.
Yeah, like Drakengard.
Yeah, and then you roll around to these things. I normally like those type of games.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I know the Switch has that.
It's just the same mission every time. It's the same mission. I go to the next. I mean, I'm only on 6. I go to the next one. It's like, clear out these rooms and hit this, and then go do this boss. And I'm just like, as much as I like those games back in PS2 when I played them,
I feel like that's always been an issue with them like, now. I think maybe if anything, you should try that one that they have. I think it's like Warriors of Hyrule, the version or whatever of it. Because if it's an IP you actually care about and you have some sort of like tie to, maybe you'll like it a lot more than.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm not liking the game at all. My low is that it's just like I looked it up and there's 23 battles and I'm on 6. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do X amount more just to beat this game and do something else. So the game's not bad. I like it. It's just I'm not looking forward to the rest of the missions.
Especially after coming off of whatever hot games you just played.
Yeah, so I guess that'd be a low if I had to pick one.
Maybe try that Legends of Hyrule, because I mean I don't know a game that I played recently, but I mean a good example would be like, I'm not a Monopoly fan, but if you have like Pokemon Monopoly or like one of those like variants or like
right,
don't you have one of them or something like that?
I have Pokemon Monopoly and Star Wars Monopoly, and I have Lord of the Rings Risk.
I thought you had something else like that we play. Either way, you just put the little spin on it to where it's something that I care about, and I'm more than happy to play.
Well, I just remember playing, if I remember like Fire Emblem games back, like on a Game Boy game. I thought they were RPGs, weren't they? Like this is like a different take. They haven't always been this kind of open world. This open battle system.
I don't think that they always were. I always thought they were something more like that, like a tactical style game or something like that. So, I don't know. It's not a loop that I am.
It's a different game than what I normally play, and I like it. It's fine, but that's all it is. It's fine, and I'm just kind of like, I've got 20.
And I knew that it was going to be fine
go.
Because
and it's good. It was okay. So I guess I'd be a low if I had to pick one.
It was good.
But
it was great. It was fine, and I knew that it was going to be fine.
So do you want to go into your high? Or do you want me to give you my high?
Do you think your high is better than mine? Is what I want to hear. And yes, go first.
So my high, as corny as it sounds, is this is finally going again, guys. The podcast is going again. We got everything somewhat.
I didn't realize you were giving me a cheese ball high.
It is cheese. But the other thing was I just beat a game called Battle Chasers Night War.
You were all about it.
I was, and it took a minute because I don't know if anyone's ever played it out there, but it's a good RPG with. I've been looking to play an RPG that reminds me of a game from like when I was a kid, and even though Final Fantasy VII just came back out with all the the cheese on it where you can kind of speed through it and do everything. It didn't resonate with me in terms of like finding that itch I've been looking for.
Because something you'd already beaten.
Right. So playing this game.
Well, this must have really got your itch. I mean, you only played it for 500 hours.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. My game time says like 500. And I leave my Xbox on. I'm notorious.
But there's no way you left it on for 500 hours. No, that game time is fucked
So unless it's based on some sort of internal clock, I'm not sure. But essentially what this game is it's 6 characters. It's turn-based combat. It doesn't do anything perfect, but it does every little feature great. There's a fishing system that nets you coins to go get certain items. There's the turn-based combat system. The only thing I didn't like is you have 6 characters. You have to swap them out if you want to have the XP level between the party. But it's got a good open map battle system where you run and you bump into characters, you start the fight. And it's got a dungeon crawler system where you can cycle between characters and they all have 2 powers, and then there's, you know, kind of like a tree building system where you have 2 tiers per person, and you can spec your guy for, you know, there's no cost of doing it. So if you guys haven't played it, I would recommend, if you're looking for a good old school RPG type, go check it out. It's Battle Chasers Night War. I had a blast playing it, and I hope you do too. But what is your high, sir? And it better not take 22 minutes, because I think that's what your low just took.
Well, I told you, I had a long riff that led into the low.
That was a riff and a half, sir.
It deserved it. So, my high, not anything crazy long. Lately, I've been smashing games. Did Final Fantasy 9, did Final Fantasy 7 after that, which if you haven't got a chance to play those, I recommend them, especially if you just want to cruise through and do the story.
Yep.
You could easily beat those games in like 10 hours, less than 10 hours, especially with the unlimited health, all the little boosters and stuff like that. I absolutely enjoyed it. Like, you know, that was a lot of fun.
I gotta play 9. 7 was fun. But again, though, already beaten it, and you can kind of speed through. Yeah,
but just catch up on the story was great.
So what's your high?
Finished Battlefield 5, which was dog shit.
That's a high?
And then going into my high, the next game I finally just decided to outright beat was Cuphead. And
yeah.
So that was my high, because I was a majority through Cuphead, and then I kind of just, I didn't give up, but a lot of other games just came out, I think.
Cuphead is a fairly, I don't want to say too difficult, but it takes it's
a harder game.
It takes skill. It's an old school skill game.
Yeah, so it's I was most of the way through it, and then I don't remember why I stopped playing. I think that's around the time maybe PUBG had already been out, but that's when like PUBG really took off for me, and I was all about that game. So either way, this game has just been sitting on the sidelines. So I've just been like, I want to go back and beat it for a while, and then I just sat down one night and just actually took me 2 days, because the one night it just took me like an hour to beat this fucking boss. Got it, and then and I was like, all right, I'm fucking done with this.
Yeah, that's the already game where you take a break.
I'm already pissed off enough as it is, but. And then the next night, just played and then beat the final. I think I beat the final 2 back to back. I'm pretty sure I did the King Dice and the Devil back to back. And then even the Devil, I sent him a snap. Yeah, like my guy was like, because there's a little scale that shows you how far you are in the boss battle. On the final little thing for beating him, my guy was like halfway through it. So if I just shot the boss a few more times, I would have won. But then I spent like
another. That's your picture now when you call me.
Yeah, I spent like another like 40 minutes trying to beat it. But either way, just beating it gave me like such a sense of accomplishment. Like it was almost like beating like Dark Souls or like Sekiro. I was like, damn, you know, this game was like amazing. It was absolutely great. It really tested my skills, and just even having to get back into it, get some of that skill back. I absolutely loved it. Not to mention a lot of the cool shit in it, because when you make it to the Devil, spoilers, he offers you a deal if you take it. It's a side achievement. You don't have to fight him. And then the game loads back up after the credits, and then it's playing the Cuphead theme song in reverse.
Oh, you were saying this,
because the reverse music's always been said like, oh, it's the devil's music or whatever. So I was like, oh, you know, that's really cool. That's really cool like Easter egg. That's really clever. Like, I really liked it. And then I went and watched some videos of some other shit I didn't know. There's a lot in this game, and I absolutely loved it. Oh, you know something we didn't cover, and we'll just throw it in really quick?
Does it involve Cuphead?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wanted to riff now that you said that.
The Cuphead TV show?
The Netflix show that's now being developed for Cuphead, yeah.
Yeah, so they just announced a TV show. I don't know how to work. They said it's gonna be kid-friendly, but have a lot of adult content in there, so I imagine something more along the lines of like Adventure Time.
From what I was hearing, is it's supposed to be more like a Mickey Mouse show, where one episode he's a firefighter doing blah 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 with Mugman, or with Goofy or Donald, you know, what he would do with Mugman. The next episode they're pilots in a war. The next episode, you know what I mean? So it's gonna have that, just like the kind of the theme of the game, it's gonna have that old school cartoon vibe where they're just gonna hop around between. I mean, I don't think anything's supposed to, because a lot of people were asking, is it supposed to be the in between the new DLC that's coming out? And the creators were like, no, this is just gonna be a cartoon that's fun to watch. Pokes fun at those old ones, and these guys just bounce from like Ren and Stimpy. They just go from adventure to adventure to adventure.
Yeah, like I said, I think from what I was reading, they said it's going to be a little more kid accessible. So I don't know if they'll show him like pouring booze into his head or anything like that. Of course not, but I mean maybe, because they did that in the old cartoons. You can't tell what XXX is on a jug.
Yeah, so with fucking skull and crossbones, I guess.
So either way, I mean, that's all I got for you.
That was quite the handful, quite the mouthful, but I was thoroughly
could be a Switch handful if you're lucky and win.
And then you could tell us the pros and joy cons of the system.
Oh,
I hope nobody's used that joke in any other podcast, because I thought I came up with it, but I doubt it. But guys, that is it for episode 12, right, Andrew? Nothing left.
No, I got nothing.
Chime out. Guys, again, Like, comment, subscribe. You guys can enter for a chance to win the Nintendo Switch Lite, and you let us know what color you want. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram at Last Call Productions. Follow us at Twitter at Last Call PRODZ. That's Last Call Prods. Or if you guys have questions, comment, did we mess up on something? Let us know, guys, at email lastcallproductions@gmail.com. There's also a Facebook page you guys can jump on. Get in there, write your stories, anything you guys want to talk about. It's just simply Last Call Productions. And that Productions, guys, has a Z. So until the next episode, Andrew, which I'm now looking forward to, I'll see you on the other side, brother.
Oh, one more thing. If you like Battlefield 5, eat shit.
Oh, God. Cheers.
Yeah, so you're looking for a name. So this thing rates like toilets, and you leave your rating on there.
You know, that's how George Costanza gets. That's how he becomes a millionaire in Curb Your Enthusiasm. The character, he made an app. I forget the name of. Oh no, it's called iToilet or something like that. And that's how he became a millionaire. It was finding the closest best conditioned bathroom for you to take a shit in.
Oh fuck!
So it's funny that you say that.
Oh, I saw your clip, like with the Donald Trump thing. But I thought.
Oh no, that wasn't mine. Matt tagged me in all those, and then I posted the Kramer one with Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I seen both, but I had never seen that before with like his fucking voicemail where he's like singing something.
Oh, do you believe it or not? George isn't at home. Oh, I love it, man.
Where could I be? Like that shit was fucking hilarious. I love too when the chick's like, oh fuck, I hate this voicemail. And he's like offended by it, like it's a good idea. And I'm
like you're just sitting there like eating popcorn.
Oh, and hey. Guess you're not home. Maybe I should have tried The Office.
Yeah, you gotta go. See you in the mall.
See you in the mall.
Oh man.
Oh dude, man, I love Jerry. That has to sit through the whole thing too. He's like, hey, because I went and looked
it up. I know you're screening for Allison.
Yeah, I went and looked it up as soon as I had got done watching. I was like, oh fuck, that's hilarious. I want to see the whole content of that. And then he's pick it up. I know you're waiting for Allison. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, hey, I gotta go. Hey, I gotta call.